Hello and welcome to the June 21st, 2026 episode of Nick's News. I am your host, Nick, brought to you by Some Budget Studios. That's right, we're paying for this project of ours. We're live every Sunday, and I thank you all so much for tuning in or catching the replay on the Nick's News YouTube channel. This is a program dedicated to bringing good news to counter all the bad news that we are bombarded with on a daily basis with the hope of bringing a little bit of joy back to the world. Several of our articles are pulled from sites like Industry Tap, Live Science, Positive.news, and GoodGoodGood.co, but we appreciate everything sent in by you, the Nick's Newsies. Tonight, however, is going to be a special broadcast because it's going to be a chat and chill. It's just going to be a chill hour of chatting and answering any questions that you all might have for us. So we do these 4 times a year, and since we just had a cool news episode, it was about time to also have a chat and chill. So bring Nick's News back to its roots. Doesn't mean we don't do all the normal stuff, though, like the news brew. So darkness is as darkness does, and the days may lengthen, but the night is the home of shadows. We're going to get either extra biblical or extra heretical with this next brew. This beautiful artwork is Michelangel-Okie. Or Michelangel-Okie? Yeah, Michelangel-Okie. From Prairie Artisan Ales. So this is a 13.7% ABV high octane barrel-aged Imperial Stout that was blended with a barrel-aged brown ale. So it is a combination beer. They also went and tossed in heaping helpings of vanilla. They sprinkled in some pecans. They dunked some cocoa nibs. And they dredged it in coffee. And finally topped it off with caramel sauce. So this sounds like an absolute wonder in a bottle. Hey, Nico. We are going to put to work this month our limited edition Harpoon Snifter, which, by the way, Harpoon Brewery out of Boston, Massachusetts, is celebrating their 40th birthday this year. That's right. Harpoon Brewing has been in operation since 1986, and they are celebrating their 40th birthday. It is something else, so I might have to bust out a Harpoon beer somewhere in here. Now, it is a bottle. The Balisong bottle opener has made a triumphant return. Smells amazing, but Prairie Artisan Ales have a habit of doing that, so let's get into the theatrics of a 5-minute pour into our Harpoon Snifter. Get every last drop in there. There we go. Hey, Dirty Rogue. Oh my, that's really good. Oh, that smells like it was dredged in coffee, but there are so many other flavors coming through. Shout outs. Happy summer Happy summer solstice to wine and cider fans. Fox and Hen has their tasting room open and in full swing. You can head on out to sample one of their fine small batch wines or ciders made with local fruit and served in a fun and inviting atmosphere. They're open Friday and Saturday from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Fox and Hen is located between downtown Grand Haven and Allendale. So, to Fox and Hen Winery and to the summer solstice. Cheers. There's Ethan tapping in for the lunch bunch. Oh my. Wow, that's a big boozy beer. Oh, that carries all of that 13.7% and throws that around. Next up, obviously, this is a special day to all the fathers out there stepping up and being the best fathers that you can and raising your children. Happy Father's Day. Cheers. Whew. News quote: We should indeed keep calm in the face of difference and live our lives in a state of inclusion and wonder at the diversity of humanity. And that comes from Hosato Takai, also known as George Takai, who was born in 1937, who is an American actor, an author, an activist, and is best known for their role as Hikaru Sulu, helmsman of the USS Enterprise. And I really love that quote because, I mean, look around us. There is a wealth of diversity around us. Um, Plants, animals, the human race. There is just so much going on amongst us. And it really is important to kind of take a look at that, take a step back, and really admire how much diversity there is with us and celebrate that. We aren't all the same. We are very complex creatures. And we come in all sorts of shapes and sizes and colors. And at the end of the day, that's pretty cool. So, we should indeed keep calm in the face of difference and live our lives in a state of inclusion and wonder at the diversity of humanity. From George Takai. Cheers. Bug update. Things have been pretty warm in the bug room. I think it got up to about 77 to 78 degrees in here, which is exactly what most of the bugs in this room want. The scorpions are mostly tropical, and Elmira comes from like Florida. So this is right up their alley, this high humidity and high temperature. So it's all been good. Huge shout out to my brother who took care of my bugs while I was out and about this last week. So big thanks to Chris. Hey, Becky. Everyone's hump is very plump and happy. I made sure to feed the bugs before I headed out, and they all look good from what I can see. So chalk up another good week in the bug room. Okay. So how about stuffing things? How about that stuff and those things? It's stuff and things and other things and more stuff. It's a chat and chill, so things are going to be pretty relaxed tonight. Um, we'd love to take questions. I think we've still got some more from the last chat and chill that we didn't get to, right, Donna?
Yep, we do.
Fantastic.
But we have something we're going to do first.
Uh-oh. What are we going to do first?
Uh,
I'm worried.
I have to send you something on your phone.
Uh,
Well, okay, I'll send it over Discord and you can check it out there.
I,
You like turtles, right?
I do like turtles. I like turtles. Yes. What about turtles?
I got you a turtle.
What? I have nowhere in this room to keep a turtle.
Well, okay. Luckily, it's not one you get to take care of. Just give me a sec. I
Okay.
got to send this to you. Okay. Do you remember? Oh man, it's been a couple of years. When we first started covering ocean cleanup,
Yeah.
one of the ways you could support their
Oh my
efforts was
gosh.
to buy a bracelet,
Hmm.
and the proceeds would go to ocean cleanup.
Yeah.
Well, it was a sea turtle bracelet, and it went over
Oh.
so well that the company making those bracelets, and now that ocean cleanup is getting more corporate sponsorship and government sponsorship, the company that was making those bracelets um, expanded out and adopted a whole bunch more charities, and they're all
Okay.
animal themed. They're all
Oh.
animal themed. Yep. So you are now following a turtle,
I'm
a sea turtle.
following a sea turtle.
Yes. Um, let me send you a couple of pictures real quick.
We will post these pictures if we can to the Nick's News page. How does that sound?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I'd love everybody to be able to see turtles, and um, this is really cool. Oh my gosh! It's a turtle bracelet! Oh, I'm gonna wear it right next to the other one. Oh, that is fantastic. That is so cool. Yeah, we definitely have to post the turtle bracelet to Nick's News.
The turtle bracelet's actually kind of small, so you you may not be able to wear it comfortably, but I can try to expand it if you want. We can talk after the show.
All right.
Now, that other thing I sent you has got a QR code. Okay. I have not registered this one, so you will have to get the app. You will have to scan the code and register because I wanted you to be able to register this one.
For
Okay.
Seance,
For Seance,
so
you will get
everybody,
to track the sea turtle.
I will get to track Seance, an adult female leatherback sea turtle encountered nesting on Sarepta Beach in Panama. She measured 150.4 centimeters in her curved carapace shell length and 104.5 centimeters curved carapace in width. She laid 83 fertile eggs and 24 unfertilized eggs. These unfertilized spacer eggs are thought to create room for oxygen during incubation. The fact that her name is Seance is so hilarious. That is so cool, Donna. Thank you very much. I will make sure to I will register this after the episode to get this taken care of. Um, and check out the Knicks News Facebook page. I'm sure we will have this information
Yeah.
about Seance up.
The company is called Follow, Fahlo. I've currently following a tiger, a red panda, and a snow leopard, and which is why I didn't want to attach Seance to my account.
Okay.
I wanted you, and you can get the app off of the, uh, well, I got it off of Google Play, but I don't know if are you an Android or an Apple?
I got an Apple phone.
Okay, you'll have to find it, but it's a free app for me, so I'm
Okay.
sure it's free for you as well.
I'll find it, yeah, after the broadcast. Hey, Tim.
So
And then I just real quick, I saw Becky posted, "Oh, the single turtles! Oh, the single turtles!" That's so cool. I'm now going to be tracking a sea turtle. I
mhm,
love that. And
and
I
we
think we're
can
going to have a
do
TikTok about
updates.
sea turtles.
We can do updates on the Nick's News page if we want
Hey,
to.
Travis. Okay.
Uh, she's got a radio tracker on her back, and they do give a warning that it's not 24/7. It's whenever the satellites can pick these guys up, because
Oh,
sometimes
sure.
they're not always within range.
Right.
Um,
I mean,
but
it's a
yeah,
leatherback turtle. They've got a huge range to them and a huge
yeah,
range of depth that they will swim down to. These things are gigantic. That is so cool. Thank you very much, Donna.
you're welcome. 10% of the proceeds goes to the charities, which I would have been happier with more than that, but you do what you can, and that's awesome. Um, they
Travis's turtle
support
road trip map.
Panthera, Sea Turtle Conservancy, Save the Elephants, Polar Bears International, Saving the Blue, which is a sharks charity,
Cool.
Global Penguin Society, all kinds of lions and giraffes and dolphins, manatees, rhinos, you name it, all kinds of Gorilla Fund, Diane Fossey's Gorilla Fund. So these are all very upfront charities where you'll recognize all these names, the
Very
ones we've
cool.
talked about. Yeah.
I would
So
I would love
there's
to have a manatee. Like you
sure,
can't touch them. And I feel like if you ever watch videos of manatees, they know that they're legally protected because they apparently like to come right up to people and hug them. And it's like, my arms are up here. My arms are up here. I am not committing a federal crime. But the manatees are like, illegal hugs. It's like I want
and
to
tummy
hug this
scratches.
and tummy scratch. I want to give tummy scratches to the giant illegal potato. Becky said they are so adorable. I especially love the videos of when like you've got boats that are docked and someone's got a water hose just going off the dock and like there's a manatee down there just drinking from the hose like, the kids of old did.
Playing in the sprinkler.
Yeah, just playing in the sprinkler. Yep. So that is really cool. Thank you very much, Donna. So I guess now we're gonna have to track Beyonce and give y'all some updates on where this leatherback sea turtle is going. Because I mean, these things are so cool. I remember I had a book as a kid on sea turtles, and I absolutely loved all of the facts about them. And at the time, um, I remember that some of them were, still being challenged and conservation was going on, and it's so cool to see, how far some of these species have come and be able to learn more about them as an adult. So, it's really neat.
Well, a lot of hard work's been done globally. Um, yeah, I mean, we have articles or at least news nibbles. I mean, right now we're very turtle heavy because it's turtle nesting season.
Right.
But even throughout the year, we've been getting a lot of really good turtle news these past 6 months, and it's awesome to see. Nice to see the world coming together for all of these conservancies and conservation efforts.
Very much so. And to see them paying off. Definitely seeing them
Uh,
paying off.
Yeah, yeah.
So, very cool.
I
Thank
think
you
they're.
very much.
You're welcome.
Are puffins endangered? From Becky. I don't think puffins are endangered. I know that yearly there's like some sort of thing where people in Scotland go and they throw puffins off a cliff. But I think that's just to get the fledglings to fly. Don't quote me on that. I don't want to spread really bad puffin information. Let's see. Are
Yeah, it was
puffins
because
endangered?
they were attracted to the city lights rather than the moon, which is what they use to navigate.
Hmm.
So they catch them, and then the next day, once they're counted, they're chucked off the cliff. Um, yeah, we covered that story.
That is true. Yeah, that was a while ago. So it looks like there are three species of puffins. There's the Atlantic puffin, the horned puffin, and then the tufted puffin, or also known as the crested puffin. And it looks like the horned puffin and the tufted puffin are of least concern. So there's no risks, there's no major risks to those two species. However, the Atlantic puffin is listed as vulnerable. Um, so it is threatened, but there are conservation efforts in. Yeah, it looks like there are conservation efforts. It is just barely in the threatened category, so let's look at conservation efforts for them. Very extensive range. They were upgraded to vulnerable in 2015, so actually rather recently. Um, but so far, their numbers have been increasing. Uh, so it's looking like things are going up for them ever since the 70s. We'll keep an eye on it, and we'll hopefully see some improvements in the puffin populations. Good question. I was not aware that puffins were potentially even threatened.
Um, there's a big shift coming, and it started in the Netherlands for conserving bats,
Hmm.
and people are changing out their night spotlights, their porch lights. Companies are changing out their security lighting to red bulbs rather than the white bulbs,
Hmm.
because a lot of these animals who use the moon for navigation are having a really hard time with the white lights.
Oh,
And the
gotcha.
red lights are bright enough that you can still drive, you can still see, humans can still interact well enough with the red lights, but it's not messing up these animals. And
Gotcha.
that's one of the things that they're pushing with the turtles too, is
Hmm.
anyone who's got beachfront property, they're asking to switch out to the red lights. They're doing it for the bats. It wouldn't surprise me if we all start doing it for the puffins as well, so that
Be
the
smart.
fledglings can find the sea.
Sure. My This last week, my girlfriend and I went to the Adler Planetarium in Chicago, Illinois, and they had some displays that I thought were really cool, that allowed you to kind of play around with light on a street, and it explored the coloration of light and how that can affect seeing the night sky, as well as the design of street lights, like having a domed sort of cover area so that light is projected more downward and out to the sides as opposed to, going in all directions and contributing to light pollution. So I really hope that there are advances in just something as simple as street lights and home lights, yeah, to help out other species and to cut down on light pollution for sure. Fingers crossed for the puffin.
For all
What
of them.
all these animals. What kind of questions do we have floating out there
Okay, well, one of the first ones we have that we need to talk about, I think, is
that we need to talk about? Oh,
well, it's
uh-oh,
it's not
uh-oh,
bad.
uh-oh.
Uh, Someone asked when we're going to have the next meet and greet, and I
Oh,
thought we should probably talk about that.
oh shoot.
Yeah, well, everybody knew, we tried to have it in early spring, just like we did last year, and I ended up having to make an emergency trip to Arizona,
Gotcha.
and so that blew that out of the water. So, um, I don't know yet, guys. I don't know. I may have to be making another trip to Arizona sometime this summer. Um, so, un- unfortunately, right now, funds are being held back for that.
Hmm.
Um, so, I don't know. Um, I would like to. I'm hoping for fall. You guys can always meet up with Nick, especially on Friday nights when he's out at Fox and Hen.
Fox and Hen, and
Um,
from 5 to 7 to close, whichever time I decide to leave. So, usually every Friday.
so yeah, we can do an informal meet and greet anytime you guys want to. But for an official one, I really don't know. It may not even be this year. We have talked about, yes, we do remember. We have not forgotten you guys. Those of you who won T-shirts last year, I was going to bring them down with me to the meet and greet. Since that's not going to be happening right away, I'll be shipping those to Nick, and he'll get those
Yep.
out to you guys. Okay.
Yep. I will take care of that. I will make sure that these shirts get to you. So, um, y'all who earned them, they're on their way. And Donna, let
Yeah,
me
I'll
know what
get
that
those shipped
shipping
out.
cost is, and I will get that back to you. Because
Okay.
shipping
Well,
is so
they'll
stupid.
probably go out this week, but
Okay, perfect.
um,
Ethan said,
anyway.
"Party at Nick's crib." I haven't hosted any parties here in a little while, so maybe I'm due for a couple. Maybe, maybe. Becky says it's
So
okay, no
anyway,
hurry. Thank you, Becky.
I wanted to give you guys an update though, because somebody did ask. So I know it's on people's minds, and I wanted you guys to know. I think they're looking for more loot bags, actually.
Oh, it is nice that we have loot. We may not have like a permanent store going, but we do have loot. There is Nick's News loot
Uh,
out in the world.
we will have to talk about that
Still
eventually,
got.
because I think we're getting enough loot now that.
Oh, I still have one here on my desk. I have the little
Which
original
one?
Nick's News, the Nick keychain. Me
I
in
think you
my
should
Under
still have
Armour shirt.
stickers too.
I do. I still have a bunch actually. So there is some Nick's News loot still available. in the form of stickers, keychains. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, we'll get the t-shirts put up and available for you guys as soon as the prize winners get theirs. I know
Oh
we had
gosh, we're
planned
gonna
on
sell
having all
those.
this done. I'm sorry?
We're gonna sell more of those.
The t-shirts?
Yeah.
If people want them.
Oh gosh, my ugly mug is
Yep.
gonna spread.
Oh, and we have 2 new magnets.
We have 2 new magnets.
You know I make magnets out of the onesies, and I've got Godzilla and the new
Oh
flamingo.
my gosh, the flamingo onesie. I wanted to forget about that nightmare. I rewatched the episode where I wore the flamingo onesie, and all I could think of is Ralphie from A Christmas Story in the pink bunny costume, or in the pink bunny outfit that his aunt sends him for Christmas. It is an abomination. That flamingo onesie is designed for pain. Like, it is horrible. The Godzilla onesie's really comfy, actually. I wore that to a party. It was a gaming party, and it was fantastic. So,
So now I have to look for a pink bunny costume for you
no, absolutely not.
for our
Absolutely
Christmas
not.
episode.
I better completely bomb something and piss you off to have to wear a
Oh,
bunny costume.
I have the next 2 or 3 already lined up, so I'm just waiting.
Dirty Rogue says, when you had the head on your shoulder, that was an abomination. Yeah. So it was so hot with that. For anybody that didn't catch that episode, I highly recommend you go check that out. You don't have to watch the full episode, but just kind of scroll through it when I have that onesie on. The hood was just so hot that I took it off and I figured out that I could flop the head of it onto my shoulder. So it looked like Squidward from SpongeBob is just got his face on my shoulder watching the screen. It's diabolical.
And the uneven eyes, he just was not
Oh yeah.
impressed the entire time.
It was like a flamingo eldritch horror from Dirty Rogue. Becky says, how about a rainbow unicorn costume? Becky, you can talk to Donna. She's the one that comes up with my punishments when I screw up.
I'm the one that sent her the link for hers.
Oh, that's
Yes, the rainbow
terrible.
unicorn is on the list.
Tim says, no, Tim, no. Tim says, need to take a vote on these. Sorry, Nick, you lose. Y'all win, I lose. I understand.
Well, just try not to screw up until it's fall when
I,
it's cooler.
I try not to. It doesn't matter if I try. I might screw up. No, I don't want to record TikToks. Punishment. What do you
Oh,
mean I
should we bring
totally
back
forgot our
TikToks?
What do you mean I totally forgot our meeting sessions? Punishment.
Uh-huh. That's
I
what got
have
you in trouble last time, I think.
I have the next one in my phone. It's coming up. So,
Yeah, on Thursday, and you were already whining about having too much this week.
okay, you stop. I will send Little John to your house. Or Elmira, now that
Okay.
she's awake.
Oh, I want Ripley.
No.
Ripley's the cool one.
No, that's why I wouldn't send Ripley, is because you want Ripley. Speaking of
All
which, I
right.
keep looking over because the bugs are out and about. Elmira's actually has come out of her burrow and looks fantastic. I still have to post some photos of her. She is looking really good after this latest hibernation. And then Ripley is out as well. And I can see Little John right at the entrance of his hide. So all the bugs are doing great. Dirty Rogue says they'll make a house call. Becky asks, do you have any more moths? I do not, Becky. That experiment sadly did not come to fruition. I do not have any more caterpillars or moths, and I'm not going to pursue that one in the future again. That was a real screw up on my part, to be entirely honest. So, if I buy another round of hornworms for the bugs, I'm going to make sure that all of the hornworms are consumed. I'm not playing that game anymore. It was cool to have them while I did have them, though. They were very fascinating to watch and interact with. Ooh, I see a YouTube error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming? What the heck?
It's looking
Is it
all
on the
right on.
fritz?
It's looking all right from here. Hang on. Audio's fine.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't see any issues on my end. My internet's not doing anything weird either. Strange. Nico did say there was a little hiccup for me. You were kind of buggy a moment ago. Tim asks, what Fox and Hen do I go to? Dirty Rogue said I just froze for a moment. Huh. It's good now. So the whole internet just froze up for a second. That's weird. So Tim, when I go to Fox and Hen is a winery that's in Grand Haven. It's kind of like in Robinson Township. Okay, it looks like it cleared up. It's down in Robinson Township, and it's a really good little like wine and cider place. It's crazy good. They continue to expand, and they've got some fantastic wine and cider every week. So I'm very happy to go there. I took a bottle of rosé back to Illinois with me this last week, and my girlfriend and I polished that thing off pretty fast over dinner. So it's just really good wine. So yeah, if anybody's available on Fridays, by all means, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. or 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., swing on out. Alexander the Great says no gaps here in Minnesota. Very cool. I think MN is Minnesota. Is it? I think it's
Yeah.
Minnesota. Okay. Becky says I love the green apple soda. Yep, that one's a good one.
Yeah, I tried a flight of their ciders when I was there, and they were
Yeah.
all very good.
They had one of the specials they came out with that was unbelievable every time. They do a lavender cider. Oh my gosh, it's purple and it is delicious. So that was out a couple weeks ago. They had a really nice. They took their Chardonnay and they mixed a lemon zest simple syrup with it, and it was divine. So they're really coming up with some fun stuff.
I really liked the blackberry. That one was very good.
The blackberry is a solid one from them. Yep.
All right, before we move on to questions I have um, saved from the last time, do you guys have anything for us? And we'll give you a couple of minutes.
Right, because of whatever the time delay is. It's down. It's lower than it used to be. So Becky
Yeah,
says,
it's
"Ooh,
still around.
blackberry."
It's still around 3 seconds delay.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
No, but we got to give them time to think too.
That's true. That's true. We won't leave it up to dead air. I'll just sip loudly at this absolutely wonderful complex stout that I'm glad I let warm up just a little bit. Don't drink your stouts at, freezing temperatures, kids. Let them warm up a little bit because all sorts of crazy stuff starts opening up the moment that they come up out of the cold. It's not just coffee, just bombarding your senses from this. And wow, this beer's got legs too. Jesus.
It sounded really good. It sounded like a coffee cake almost.
It does, yeah. Becky says, what is your favorite thought provoking article so far? Oh my gosh. That is a good question. I think I'd have to go hunting. Thought provoking articles. We've had a few recently that have really made me think. I'm going to look back. See, we save all of our write ups too, so I can go through them pretty quick, and usually I remember what they are from just reading what the website is. Um,
I think for me, it's the Voyager articles that we do.
oh yeah,
Um, those little guys have been going almost my entire lifetime, and it's so cool to see that even towards the beginning of our missions into space, they're still going. You know, it's what we consider ancient technology now. You know, those little suckers have got still have transistors and and all the equipment in them that looks like it came out of an old radio, and they're still plugging away. I mean, they're so far out into space that it's amazing to me how much how much technology has changed, but also how far we've gotten even with technology from when we started. You know, it adds a sense of time to our space exploration, and it really it's very, I don't want to say deep because that doesn't mean a whole lot. It's just it's just very cool to me how far they've gotten, and that they're still going on such limited technology, and what we're doing these days. Now we have a plan of putting people on the moon permanently now within the next 10 years. And it's just having that big gap in our lives where we really weren't concentrating on space at all. Having it come back, it's so exciting to grasp that again. In my childhood, that was space exploration was such a huge deal. We had the space race with the Russians, and now we're having a space race with the Chinese
yep,
and India, and it's just so cool to see that the little guys are still going at it.
yep,
And you hear all these other probes that, yay, this one just slingshot itself around this planet and is headed off to wherever. And, and these little guys that should have died, 20 years ago are still fighting.
yep. I think for thought-provoking article for me would have been, and I had to go back and figure out when we did it. It was the May 17th episode. Is we talked about Mariska Hargitay, uh, who plays Detective Benson on Law and Order Special Victims Unit, and her push to make sure that victims of sexual abuse are getting their the evidence of these crimes uh, processed properly. Um, I think what really was thought provoking to me in that one is, when you have celebrities, they have a lot of strength in their image and in their persona and their reach because they're a figure. They're out there in the spotlight. Um, but for some of them to dedicate that power to helping others and doing so in such a meaningful way is really cool to me. So it's definitely the Mariska Haggard. I always get her name wrong. It's Mariska Hargitay, um, Detective Benson from Special Victims Unit. Just definitely all of the work that she's doing to help victims of sexual abuse and sexual attack. So that one was huge. Probably the other one, another definite one, is anytime we have anything having to do with curing cancers or fighting cancers or coming up with new ways to fight cancers. Like there's a reason anytime we get a cancer article, it's cancer. Fuck cancer. I hate cancer. I have seen cancer do so much damage to people around me, family and friends. And so anytime we get a cancer article, we get any sort of good news about medical advances with regard to cancer, like those ones really make me uh, go in deep dive too. So good question,
Yeah,
Becky. Thank you.
and the teen inventors, those are always
Those are good ones.
inspirational. Um, it's like, okay, there is hope for the future. Thank God.
Yeah.
you know,
Yep. I
it's
think
it's
there is.
really awesome.
I Ethan in the chat will attest. At Flexco, we have several interns, um, and I don't know if they're Gen Alpha or if they're um, Gen Z, but they are young and they're smart. They're incredibly intelligent. Sure, they've got their own language, but what generation doesn't? But kind of seeing, I echo Donna. Anytime we've got young people showing up, that is really cool.
Yeah, and they're not tackling easy problems.
No,
You
they've
know,
tackled a bunch of crises in their lifetime.
yeah, everything from um, recycling to cancer to non-plastic food storage
Yep.
and all of these problems that the adults are saying, oh, it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money and we can't do that because everything's already set up, and this 16-year-old goes, want to bet?
Right. Yeah, Ocean Cleanup Project. That guy was
Yeah.
a kid when he started that project, and he's going to tackle the Pacific garbage patch and knock that sucker down. Like kids really, the young have. I love the limitless imagination of the young, and those that carry it and continue it and apply it to life. So, very cool. Any other questions, folks? Apparently, Donna's got a couple lined up from last time that we didn't get to, but we'd love to. Becky says, "Hold my Kool Aid."
Well, even the kid um, that collects the candy tubs at Christmas, you know, Teddy, he's been doing it now for 3 years, and these kids just they've seen a problem and they just, okay, nobody else is going to do this. Here I am.
Yeah.
I can do this and I'm going to do this. And I love that. I love it so much.
Sci-Fi Synth says, "Love this channel. My name is Nick too. Are you doing any more articles tonight?" So Sci-Fi Synth, we're not doing any articles tonight. This one's just a chat and chill. Nick's News way back in the day started off like this. Started off back in 2016 when I went back to college and I knew my social life was going to die and I wanted to maintain my ability to communicate with my friends. So I thought, let's do a live stream on Facebook. And so the chat and chills are kind of a back to formula, back to the original. We will have articles next week, though. We'll have a bunch of good articles next week. So thank you, though, for the support and the love, and also being a Nick to Nicks.
Yeah, we only do this uh
4 times a
quarterly.
year. Yeah,
So
quarterly.
yeah, this isn't something we'll do all the time. But I'm really glad you enjoy the articles. It's good to hear. We love getting reviews. We love knowing where we can improve, but that what we're doing um, is working, is reaching you guys, and you enjoy what we're doing.
Yep.
And a big shout out to Norse Raven, who is tuned in, but YouTube's being funky again and not showing them chat, so they're talking to me through Discord.
Oh, you gotta love YouTube. I mean, first they took away everybody's ability to show their names, and now they won't even let other people talk. So, cheers to all. Cheers to all indeed. And thank you to Norse Raven too for checking us out. It is nice that they're still keeping up with us.
All right, you guys, hit us with the next one. What you got?
Don't hit me. or Donna. Definitely
Oh,
don't
hit
hit
him. He's
Donna.
been whining all day.
I have not. I have been tired, Donna. I drove back from Chicago this morning.
I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not starting a fight with you on
I
air,
I
okay?
made a choice, and I'm still
Yes,
going. I didn't take a
you
nap. I built a
made a
Lego today. I had a fantastic day with my father and my brother. Um, do I need a nap? Maybe. I don't know. I need a nap.
yeah.
This beer will put me
I'm
to
not
sleep
sending
later. Oh
you
my
your
gosh.
binky, okay? All right. You guys are not coming up with anything at the moment, so I'm gonna go to our cheat sheet.
Becky says, which Lego
Oh,
set?
well, we
Um,
can always talk about Lego.
so when I went to the Adler Planetarium with my girlfriend, um, she found a book that she really wanted, and when I go to like places like that, like the Shed Aquarium, at the Shed Aquarium, I went and got a beluga whale mini Lego set. And so I saw that they had a really cool one, a normal Lego set of the space shuttle, but I wanted a mini Lego set because I don't know why I'm obsessed with them. And sure enough, they had one of the Mars rover, of one of the Mars rovers. So I put that together today. I have a mini block Mars rover out on my entertainment center, next to my beluga whale.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
very awesome.
I have the ISS kit too, but I mean I built that on a live stream a couple years back. Um, Space saving to a degree. I mean, I was really eyeballing that Artemis Lego set, the Artemis 2 Lego set, but I didn't pull the trigger on that. I can easily rearrange stuff around here, so it all just comes down to time and the cost of these things too. Legos these days, good Lego sets like that cost a couple, $100, which isn't a fun price to swing. So they're
Oh,
more treats,
yeah,
and yeah,
no
the minis
kidding.
are cute, and also the proceeds for them. Usually, when I get them from places like that, the proceeds support that facility. So like the proceeds from that book and from that mini Lego set go to the Adler Planetarium. So that I always like that.
Yeah, they had a really cool Dungeons and Dragons Lego set they released, but that one's 400.
Jeez. Four
Oh,
hundred
it's awesome
bucks.
though. It was awesome.
I feel so bad for my parents. Christmas would come around and I would ask for Lego sets, and of course they were like the most expensive Lego sets at the time. It was ridiculous what I was asking for. So, um, but they got them to me. I was super appreciative.
Mom always set us a budget.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, she, I don't, they never tried to hide the fact that we didn't have unlimited funds.
mm,
So they were very realistic with us when it came to Christmas. We would get one big gift, but if we sat down with, like the Toys R Us catalog and started circling $400 gifts, mom would just laugh at us.
all right.
No, that's not happening. You know that, you know. So she would go through and she would say, okay, here's a marker, mark everything you want. Okay, now go through with this other color. And it was something more reasonable choices.
Gotcha.
So.
Nico says that D&D set was one of the last big sets they bought a few years ago. Jeez, Nico over here high rolling the D&D Lego bucks.
Oh, this is one that just came out a couple months ago. You might want to check, Nico.
Oh, there's a new one? Great.
Yeah, it's oh, let me see if I can find the link for it. It was awesome. It was a tavern, had a dragon, had a whole bunch of the monsters like a
Hmm.
beholder. It was really super cool.
Oh, not anymore, says Nico.
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
been sold out for months. Luckily, I
I
luckily
s-
it's sold out, so I don't have to try to talk myself out of it.
there you go. I saw a video earlier of a to scale to Lego minifigures, uh, Serenity from the
I
show
almost sent that to you
Firefly.
today. Yeah.
I thought that was amazing. Um, just the work that had gone into it to build the interior of the fire of the Serenity. Um, it was fantastic. So I would say look that one up. If you were a Firefly fan, that is a huge Lego build. Becky asks, "Have you
Yeah.
gone to the Lego store or Bricks yet, Nick or Nico?" Uh, so I have. I went to one. I've been to a couple of different Lego stores. Not any here in Michigan, if there are any, but I did go to one over in Chicago not too long ago. It was nice. I didn't pick anything up at the time. I debated. There's a Mario Kart kit that I almost picked up because I have a favorite character from the Mario universe, and I almost bought the Mario Kart kit for it, but I held off. Nico says, "No, not yet, but my friend has. She says it's great." I mean, the Lego stores, I love the Lego stores, so.
Yeah, I go to the one near Toronto. It's at the north side of Toronto, a couple times a year. Stock up
Nice.
on minifigures,
Very cool.
and that's the link to the D&D set.
Yeah, what does this thing look like?
Oh, it's amazing. It's got the placer beast and the big
Oh
red
my
dragon.
gosh.
Yeah, it's even got a bugbear. It's the bard in the front. Yeah, it's just, and if when you turn it around,
Holy
yeah, look
crap.
at all the pictures. It's so cool because it's got the tavern in the front and the tower, and then along the back is a wooded hillside. It's just a fantastic set.
This is ridiculous.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, that's crazy. Dang, Lego. You be ballin'.
That's very cool, Becky. That's why mine are still mostly in the pack, Nico.
Becky says Bricks and Minifigs has 3 stores around here. Interesting. Nico says I spent a ton of freebie points on that set. And yeah, where would you put them? That's the I really love the big sets. I especially love the big space sets. But like I said, I can move stuff around, but man, I want to show those things off. So,
I've been putting together some of the flower sets, and I'm looking
hmm,
for a tabletop greenhouse to put them in so that I don't have to dust them all.
right? That's what compressed air is for. Once a week, just spritz them with some compressed air. Just don't huff it. Nick's News, where we tell you not to do drugs. And once again, YouTube is having a moment. That's so weird. What is going on here at my house that has my internet acting up? I have amazing internet, so I'm kind of surprised by this.
You got something running in the background?
No. I mean, unless my computer is updating because it was shut down for a week, but I thought I ran all of its updates earlier. No, this looks like it's a legit internet problem. Becky is looking for the unicorn minifigs. Hmm.
Okay, I have a question over on Discord.
Okay.
wanting to know how your mantises are doing. So apparently, we need to do a bug update. Do a roll call.
So I haven't had mantises in a little while. Yeah, my last round I didn't get any viable Uthika from, which is a mantis egg case. So I'm kind of on the lookout for mantises again. We'll see if I keep them. I'm kind of running out of space again in here, considering I have so much else going on. Like I know you can't see part of this, but there's another three tanks that can't be seen right now. Or no, two tanks, sorry. I don't have any more room for another tank at this time unless I moved something out. So, I love taking care of mantises. They're fascinating to take care of. The biggest problem, though, is they only live for a little over a year tops. Um, so, and that can get really difficult, especially when you can get so attached. That's why the bugs that I have now are very long lived species, like Elmira, the giant vinegaroon, can live 7 to 10 years. Um, Emperor scorpions like Little John and Asian forest scorpions like Sue can live for longer than 10 years potentially. So I've switched over to very long lived bugs because they'll be around longer and I'll get to observe them and take care of them for longer. So not so much mantis. I mean, if a mantis wanders in and it's a maybe one of those big sexy mantises, maybe I'll set up a mantis tank. We'll see.
We have rules. He's not allowed to adopt one until it's really close to winter and they
That's
won't
true.
survive.
Yeah. Usually what knocks them down is winter, is fall, when we start getting really cold in fall. Most of the time when I've harvested mantises and I've kept them has been that time. It's been very cold. I've found them they don't have much energy. They just sort of sit in one place, and then I'll scoop them up and I'll make a home for them, for their twilight years or their twilight months. But otherwise, we'll see. We'll see what comes wandering in, August, September, October. Good question though. Whoever asked that question, good question about mantises.
You should tell him about what you have currently.
I thought I just
You
did.
have 4 different species.
Okay. So right now I have 4 different species of scorpions. I have a giant
And
vinegaroon, aka a tailed whip scorpion, named Elmira Hug and Kiss. I have a tailless whip scorpion, an amblypygid, that is named Ripley because she looks like a face hugger. I have an emperor scorpion named Little John because it's Little John from Robin Hood, not Little John the Rapper. And then I have a boy named Sue, my big Asian forest scorpion, who is an absolute asshole. And I have the Cuddle Puddle. I've got a small collection of Madagascar roaches.
you have the dubia roaches too, don't you?
Yeah, but they're feeders. I don't count the feeders because I've got like crickets and mealworms and superworms too, but those are all feeders. So those, I'm not announcing the feeders. Their
Okay.
whole purpose is to die. They're food for the big four I listed.
And if you take a look at our Instagram page, quite often those guys are featured,
Yep.
especially Little John.
Yeah, Little John is extremely photogenic. Absolutely loves to have his photo taken. So I'm actually surprised he hasn't come out and wandered around while we've been going. Usually he does. Um, Elmira's been just chilling in like the same spot for a while, so it's been cool looking over at her. She hibernates for like 3 to 4 months, sometimes longer, and so seeing her out and about is really neat. She looks like a little land lobster. Any other questions from the question archive that we want to take, Donna, before we wrap up?
Are you ready for one?
Yeah, I'm ready for a question.
Okay. If
Uh-oh.
you knew the day you would perish, what would be your last meal and the last thing you would do?
Who asked this question?
Considering your reaction, I'm not going to rat him out.
Oh my gosh. Run that one back again?
If you knew the day you would perish,
Okay.
what would be your last meal and the last thing you would do? Like your ultimate bucket list item. And
Oh.
chat, you guys can play along too.
If I knew, Becky says, not me. If I knew my last day, I mean, I'm not, if I knew that kind of stuff, I can tell you that day, it wouldn't be anything super big. It wouldn't be, I'm going to go skydiving or anything like that. I think I'd really want some fettuccine alfredo and some lobster, because those are my two favorite foods. And I'd really just want to spend it with my significant other. Didn't we wouldn't even have to do anything. It kind of be just like, okay, it's going to happen. I don't need fanfare and I don't need something absolutely magical and whimsical, because any time spent like that, any quality time spent like that is already some of the best time I've ever spent in my life. So, I think it can be really simple. It doesn't have to be grandiose. It just be a really good meal and maybe cuddling on the couch and watching a really good show. It's pretty good for me. Sorry if that's not what whoever asked that question is expecting, but
No, I don't think there's any expectations. We're all different. We all have different ideas of, you know, what we would do and what we like. Oh, that's cool, Becky.
Becky says I would
Becky's
get my friends together and play games or an impromptu LARP. Becky, that's awesome. That is a good choice, Becky. That sounds fantastic.
I
So,
think for
Donna,
me
what
it
would
would
you
be
do? Yeah, here we go. Put the spotlight
um
on Donna.
there still is. I'm sure they're still around because they were amazing. There's a Mexican restaurant in San Diego that we would hit every time we went down for Comic Con. And they had this kind of a sampler plate that I would always get because it was just amazing. And I would like to do that again. So it had
Hmm,
a taco, it had tamales, it had enchiladas, um, carne asada, and it was so good. And it, also fishbowl sized margaritas that were also
jeez.
very good and very strong. Um,
I mean, I guess
I
if it's
think
going to
I
be
would,
your last day, ball out because you can put it all on the credit card and not care about it ever again.
yeah. As for last activity, you're probably gonna laugh at me, but I want to snuggle a tiger again.
The fact that you've snuggled a tiger before is really cool in and of itself. Like the fact that there was an again appended to that line.
The last one was a cub. He was little. Um, he was about the size of a little bit bigger than a beagle.
Mm,
But yeah, I got to play with a tiger. I still have there was a little poofy keychain on my jacket zipper. Um, and he just loved playing with that. But I got to wrestle with him and, rah, get to cat, and all that. And it was at a wildlife park. And yeah, I had a great time snuggling, and he was laying all in my lap. I was sitting on the ground with him, and he was just flopped in my lap, and we were just wrestling and playing. And his trainer was very concerned because I was, oh, probably like 12, 13 at the time. wrestling with a
Oh,
tiger
jeez.
cub. But we both had a great time.
It sounds like Becky got to play with a tiger cub too. That's
Awesome.
neat for y'all. That
Very
is
cool.
really cool. Even if it's a cub, like, I mean, that is an amazing animal. So that is a really cool experience. Good
I've
question to whomever threw that hard ball at, at us.
I also snuggled a cheetah. Does that count too?
That's really cool too. Was it a cub as well?
No. Nope. This one
It
was
was
an
a
adult.
real ass, a whole ass cheetah.
Yeah, yeah.
Where'd you do that?
Oh,
I need
Wildlife
to know.
Safari in Oregon. Um,
Hmm.
it's a wildlife park. It was one of the first um, wildlife parks where they emphasized um, outdoor enclosures instead of concrete and high fences. I mean, they still have the high fences, but instead of, lions lounging on concrete that could just be hosed off, these were big, wide open spaces that the lions could lounge in and had trees and dirt and grass and
Oh
streams
wow.
running through it. And, you know, the way zoos and parks are now leaning towards because it's so much healthier for the animals.
Right.
And this one in Oregon was one I would go to almost every other year for my birthday. It was one of my favorite things in the world to do. And you could drive through and see, it had different areas, North America. And so there's, elk and bears and things like that, and
Hmm.
eagles, and then you goes through African savanna and all these different regions.
Very
And
cool.
yeah, it was there at that park, one of their enrichment activities, or one of their educational activities was with this cheetah named Danara. And she would be one that would go around to some of the different schools, but also on the weekends, you could have your picture taken with her, or you could pay to spend a
Wait,
little bit of time with
wait,
her.
wait, wait,
Oh,
wait, wait. We're bringing a whole ass cheetah into a classroom. Wait,
yeah,
wait,
they would.
hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah, any of these conservation places that have animals that uh, can't go into, like, if you have a cheetah that cannot reproduce,
Hmm.
like if she's gotten too old, usually because they're part of the big breeding program, the global breeding program, where they send the eggs off to and trade cats to try to rebuild the genetics.
Right.
um
For
because the cheetahs
for
were
those
so
of you that
bottlenecked.
for
Yeah,
those of you that aren't
they're so.
aware, cheetahs got genetically bottlenecked at some point in recent history, and it totally
Yeah,
screwed up their gene pool, and it also gave them ridiculous anxiety.
yeah. And the ones that are retired from the breeding programs, they've spent their lives being handled by humans. They're not being re-released into the wild. These are specifically for rebuilding the cheetah genetic system.
Hmm.
And so when they get too old for reproduction, they go into education, and the trainers will take them to different events, take them to schools and assemblies and different things, and educate people on conservation and wildlife depending on the age group. This is a big cat, just like your little cat, but a lot bigger, and look at this is how fast he can go, isn't this cool? And up to college age, where okay, this is what's really happening, this is what we're striving for, this is in the genetic level what we're trying to do, and why we trade with 34 other zoos. you
Hmm.
know it's
Dirty. When I brought up the genetic bottleneck, Dirty Rogue went, "Oh, so like the rest of us." Probably with the anxiety part. I got a kick out of that. Becky said,
probably.
"Oh, poor kitties." Sign me up for hugging a cheetah. Like, I just want to embrace a cheetah and like stroke its back and be like, "Hey, it's gonna be okay. Like, I understand you're scared now, but it's gonna be okay." Like, we will
Um,
get through this.
Danner was very chill until a chicken walked by, and then she just started growling at it.
Of course. Fight the chickens. Ah, chickens,
Punch.
the natural enemies of the cheetah. Unlike literally everything else in their natural habitat that just wants to body them.
Yes, Ribbon, thank you. Animal ambassadors.
Oh, animal ambassadors. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to field one more question before we wrap it up? We're running a
Would you
little
like it?
over,
Would you
so
like a lighter one?
just whatever. Pick one at random. Let's see what we got for our last question for the night.
At random, huh? Okay.
Or
What would
dinner.
be
We're gonna
your
eat chicken.
last candy/dessert before you could never have it again?
What? What the heck is this? Who is this mean to me? Like, hey Nick, if you're gonna die, what? Or why
Okay,
can't
look, maybe
I?
it's not, death this
I have more
time. Maybe
questions. Why would I not be able to get my hands on this dessert ever again?
because you're having really expensive dental work and you can't have sugar later.
That's
Ever.
just no, that wouldn't fly because then I wouldn't be able to drink beer. So, no, like I would figure out a way to be able to continue this. I do not approve of this removal of my ability to enjoy sugar. Nico says some mean questions tonight. Definitely. Uh, One sugary thing that I wouldn't be able to have again, or like
It
say
says
it
candy or chocolate
candy or
or
chocolate.
dessert.
Oh,
Or
dessert?
dessert.
Does beer half the beer I drink is dessert beer?
It does
Oh.
not specifically say beer, so sure, you can still have your beer.
So I still get beer, but I'm going to lose the ability to eat a dessert. I mean, my favorite sweet treat is like Reese's. Like Reese's peanut butter cups in any shapes and sizes. Those things are my jam and also my vice. Like I could eat a whole bag of those, and I really shouldn't because I value my pancreas. So, yeah, if I was going to lose the ability to eat sugar, I would just pig out on a bag of Reese's peanut butter cups. Preferably like one of the fun shapes like the Easter ones, because then you get you get a better ratio of peanut butter to chocolate. It's all about the ratio.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's the same reason why I can't buy Reese's Pieces.
Hmm.
Costco occasionally has this giant jar of Reese's Pieces, and I cannot buy that, or I would just sit down and eat it until I threw up.
E.T. phone home.
Yeah, they're
Reese's.
good.
Dirty Rogue
And I
says this
don't
is science.
and I don't like commercial candies and stuff. You
Mm.
know, I don't buy candy bars and things like that, For me, well, okay, I'll do cookies. I will I
Mm.
will I will say I have a weakness for cookies. That's my go-to sweet because they're not super sweet. Like candy is always so sugary. At least with cookies, there's butter and flour also, and usually peanut butter.
That's true.
My last dessert would be my uncle's pineapple ice cream. Every year when we did a family reunion, my uncle would make homemade ice cream, and it was
Oh wow.
excruciating for us kids because it takes hours to
Oh,
make
I'm
homemade
sure.
ice cream. It was awful watching that thing for hours.
Oh, I'm sure it was the devil.
But it was so good. Homemade pineapple ice cream was the absolute best.
Nice. I think that's a good note to end it on. We've gone over an hour. It's been a good chat and chill. This has been a fantastic chat and chill with everybody. I've had a blast. I hope everybody else has had a blast. I hope you've had a blast, Donna.
Yeah, it's red vines for Becky.
Becky says red vines. Yeah. Becky says I would find a way to eat them. I feel like this question that we've been posed is like we'll become allergic to it, so it becomes like people who eat shellfish but are allergic to it. They love it so much, but they're willing to risk the EpiPen and the closed airway. So
Oh, that's why my, last act will be a tiger. If he eats me, whatever, I'm gonna die anyway.
good point. Good point.
Come here, big kitty.
But yeah, this has been a fantastic chat and chill. I hope that everybody's had fun. Um, Thank you all again for tuning in or catching the replay on the Nix News YouTube channel. We're live every Sunday, and our next episode will be back to good news on June 28th of 2026. We encourage participation, so by all means, if you feel inclined, you can post suggestions for news brews, shoutouts, news quotes, and especially good news articles that we can present on future episodes. If you send us a bunch of articles, try to spread them out across our 4 categories, which for good news, we've got science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, the really nice ones we like to end on. Our next chat and chill should be in, let's see, so we had March, June, so September. So if you want, you can send us some questions. And if you want to send us those questions via Facebook, Instagram, or email us at somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. Links are all down in the description of our video. We encourage participation again. So like shoot some questions to us or, show up and drop some in the chat. We're always happy to see that. So you can please feel free to like, subscribe, or comment on our content across all our major platforms, which are Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even TikTok. We are doing we're doing news nibbles on TikTok, so it's been really cool. Seeing all of our platforms continue to expand and our reach continue to expand thanks to all of you, because we're not doing major advertisements. If you're interested in, like, if you're gonna propose SEO improvement advertisements, don't. I'll just tell you right now, don't email us. We're not interested. So
And we're not gonna buy viewers either.
we're not going to buy viewers. Is exactly. We are never going to buy viewers. What we are going to do is continue to put out good news, to try to get the algorithms to start to shift. A lot of the algorithms are focused on shock and awe and bad news. Well, I think good news has a really important place in the world, so I think we both do, producer Donna and I, and we're going to continue to push it as hard as we can. So,
Speaking of that, though, I need all of you guys to hit that little thumbs up right there at the bottom of
yes,
the screen.
if you've been viewing this episode, please, I'm trying to work it into my to-do list is to remind everybody every little bit of interaction helps to continue to grow our channel. So if you can, just hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed what we were doing tonight. It would go a long way. So thank you. Is that about it, producer Donna?
Yep, for tonight.
All right. Well, as always, thank you again. We love you all. Have a great night, and we will play you out.